Sleeping around with women won't change your NOFAP problem. That's the title of today's video, and that's the topic I want to come on here and talk about real quick. Now, this intro won't be too long, so I won't drag it on or make it, more than it needs to be, but the title itself should, explain what I mean by sleeping around, So yeah, with that being said, I do have some bullet points listed down, so if you do see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. Number one, not only do you need to have a why, but you need to have a greater purpose as well. Now, what I mean by this is you need to have a reason why you wanted to start NOFAP in the first place. Make it something be deep and meaningful. You know what I mean? Not something that's based upon contingent things, and that's something I'm going to get into later on. But don't make it about the woman or the benefits or, just the ego in general or just, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Make your reason why something very concrete and something that's very, meaningful, something that actually has value instead of just putting it on, outside factors. And I made a video about this in the past about doing NOFAP just for the benefits in the woman. You should be doing this, and you could, and I'm not trying to bash anybody that does do that. And, that's probably how most people started in the first place. But you should be doing this to overall improve yourself as a man. Not only just to be better, whether you have an addiction or not. Just do it to get away from it, because I feel like the root of it is not good in the first place. And, when you're asking yourself, the reason why you want to do this, you know what I mean? Like I said, make it deep and meaningful and have it have a purpose and make it make sense. So when you in those moments and you thinking about relapsing, you go back and you think about the reason why you started in the first place, not just for the woman or for the benefits, but just for your overall well-being, as a human being in general. You know what I mean? And, when it comes to the purpose aspect of it, what is the end goal with this? Why are you doing this? Are you just doing this, as a lifestyle? Are you just doing this for yourself? Are you just doing this to experiment? Are you just doing this, to add it in as a self, improvement, practice? You know what I mean? What's your purpose of you doing it? You know what I mean? And at first, like I said, you hear the benefits, you hear the good things about it, you hear that, you able to attract women and things like that. But I feel like if you want to be able to actually get out of that habit and get out of that, that life of the PMO cycle, then you got to have a greater purpose than just doing it for yourself. Whether that be religion with God and, not sinning and stooping down to that, evil and demonic level, or just doing it for the, the people in your life and the relationships you got. Not only, when it comes to a physical relationship, like with you and a partner, you and a girlfriend, or just, the people that you love and in life, in general, to be a better person overall. So that's the first, thing I wanted to get across in this topic. The second one is, what's making you have an addiction to it when you feel like relapsing? You know what I mean? And what I mean by this is you actually taking the time to think thoroughly and go in depth and do that shadow work to figure out what is drawing you to it, what is making you so interested, and what is, pulling you to do these things, you know what I mean? To watch those bad videos, to, constantly do it over again in the time span of, a whole day, 2 to 5, 6, some people even, go beyond that. But, that's besides the point. What is causing you to have this stem in the back of your mind? What is causing you, to do all of these things? You know what I mean? To do that. What is causing you to do it? And, you may be asking, well, how do I get there? What do I do to be able to understand why I'm having this problem and why I'm so attracted to it? You have to sit in that moment of when you feeling like relapse and when you feeling like you got the urge to do something. You have to sit there and be in the present moment and really understand and go back and try to think about what past traumas may have built and stemmed to you having this addiction and you having this problem in the first place. You know what I mean? You have to sit there and really think about it, from those prevalent years and when you first started up until now, and really just sit there and reflect as you are going through those feelings and having those urges, of wanting to relapse and go back. You know what I mean? Sit there and really think and try to understand what made you want to, go back to that type of mindset, that type of, action in general. You know what I mean? And make sure when you do it, you write it down so you memorize it. You could put it in your notes, put it on a piece of paper, anything like that. Keep a generalized, memory of it. So whenever you face with them type of, urges and encounters again, you memorize, what is the problem that is causing you to have these urges and steadily go back into, the bad cycles, the PMO cycles. So that's the second one. The third and last one is, and the title of the video is "A Woman Won't Save Your Trauma," on your PMO addiction. You know what I mean? And this is something that I thought about for, a long time. You know what I mean? I thought, if you started talking to more women, or, you got into a relationship, or you know what I mean, you got more successful in your business or whatever, contingent things like I touched on earlier. But more of when it comes to the real life aspect, to actually, having real interaction with females, not just through the, digital, phone screen or the computer or the tablet, anything like that. You know what I mean? Actual relations. Whether that be just talking, platonically, or, like I said in the title, sleeping around. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people, not even a lot of people, but a lot of men just think that, once they get into these, type of relationships, that, all their problems and, past trauma is just supposed to wash away and go away. No, you got to deal with that yourself and really figure out why you had that problem and that addiction in the first place. Nobody can tell you or point out, what caused you to get addicted to it in the first place besides you, because you the one that even embarked on it in the first place. So thinking that, somebody else can help that and hinder that or get you up out of that, or contingent things, get you up out of that cycle is just, it's just a bad way to think about it. And, it's kind of a dumb way to think about it because, like I said, can't nobody deal with that problem except you. You know what I mean? And that took me a minute to understand after going through, so many trials and tribulations of failing and falling off and, going back up again and just going through the whole, cycle again. And, it takes a while. It takes a while. You know what I mean? It's not something that just comes overnight. You know what I mean? But like I said, anybody can't solve that problem besides you, because when you think, if you go to these external sources and these, contingent things, you think that, you'll be able to solve it because, you'll be seeking the validation and the confirmation that, your problem is being solved by other things, but it's really not. And you know what I mean? It just blocks you and keeps you from, being able to truly understand and being able to take that next step in order to get away from the cycle in general. But with that being said, that's just what I wanted to come on here and talk about. Let me know if it's some things that I may have missed out on or some stuff I could have, spoke on or said better in this video. Let me know some things that, you could do to help and combat this down in the comment section below. But I think that's pretty much all I had to say. Like I said, that's really the main thing I wanted to touch on and get at when it came to this topic in general, is the contingent things, the seeking the validation and the fulfillment, outside of yourself. And that'll never work because you the only one that can solve that problem, you know what I mean? And you have to go in when you having these problems and these urges, that come and inspire to you, just throughout life. And you got to really sit there and try to reflect and understand on, okay, what's the things that may have got me to do this, these past traumas. Is it the anxiety, the loneliness, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Sit there and write that down. Sit there and memorize that so you could come back to that whenever you're going through something. And, figure out your why, you know what I mean? Why you want to do it in the first place. And, why, you want to stop it and why you want to, get away from that cycle. And also to have that greater purpose to not only, let it be for yourself, but something greater than you. So, with that being said, peace.